Hey guys, welcome back. So today I'm gonna see who's what who has enough money for Mega Neon Top on the offer. But this might be my last video because I have like so much stuff to do. No, actually, because I have like 2 channels like growing, and I'm just like in the morning. I like I have to like work on and it takes me like a whole day just to finish one single episode, one single part of a series that I'm making called Mystery of the Smiles. Smiles. And I'm overworking myself. So sorry if you guys really enjoyed it, but I think that I'll still be making videos on my second channel, XX Line. I'll put it in the description down below. Anyway, let's see what the...
It doesn't get any easier attending the funeral of someone you love. This was the funeral of my wife, one of many wives. I'm telling you this because she is one of my fondest mothers. Where humans are concerned, love is the only law, and that's coming from a man who has literally seen everything. She was a healthy 146 when she died. Yeah, science never came up with a solution for falling off a cliff. A man next to me utters the usual refrain. She was a fine woman. My thoughts and prayers are with you. Humanity went through many changes, but in terms of death, we were always predictable, right up until the last human took the final breath. The year of my wife's funeral, I was technically 387 years old, which made me a baby in relative terms. Those days, they only used aquablation, dissolving bodies in water. Basic stuff that would turn out. The universe would disappear one day, and I'll be there. But I guess you want to know how it got to that point. I was born on January 1st, 2000. I have no idea who my parents were, since the story I've been told is that I was found by 3 hunters on a hilltop wrapped in a blanket of fur that was slightly lit by the North Star. I went into foster care, but around the age of 18, I told my foster parents I wanted to travel the world. I got to the age of around 35, and I think that's about the time I stopped aging. When I hit 45, people would say to me, "Ooh, you look so good for your age." When I hit 55, things got really weird. I had to start telling everyone I was taking supplements, and in the end, I just left the country, not wanting to become a scientific research project. The good thing was that I was almost constantly on the move, and seemed to be good at everything I did. My first life was easy. I had a natural aptitude for everything. And when I say natural, I mean I could do anything I wanted. Back when humanity was still here and in its early stages, I was a doctor, a professional rugby player in New Zealand, a marine virologist, a British biologist who spent most of his time studying fleas, a very successful autonomous flying vehicle salesman, and a fair puppeteer in New Hampshire. Oh, and I can't mention all the jobs. There were lots of them before work became almost obsolete. I had as much money as I needed, when we still used money, of course. Although it was sometimes difficult keeping my identity hidden when banking the stuff, when we still had banks. Banks we would later say were from the second dark age. You're probably wondering how I managed to not have an accident and maybe get all chewed up. Well, back before we started eating only lab-made artificial meat, I fell into an industrial meat grinder. I'll take that as my best death ever. I loved that job too. Being an expert in every lifetime gets boring after a while, so I was sausage meat. Don't ask me how it happens, but after every death I would just wake up in some place in this same body. One body could die, but another would appear. I'd look in the mirror and I was the same man. I had a soul, and it seemed I was immortal. I kind of liked the days when accidents were common. It made life more fun. But once humans stopped working and using machines to do all the work, people didn't have many accidents. But like I said, one of my wives fell off a cliff. May she rest in peace. She was the only one I stayed with until the end, because I told her my secret. The rest I left after a few years. That wasn't always easy, I can tell you. Okay, so let me take you through the first chapter of my life, the short period of about 500 years. It'll have to be an abridged version, because I'm pretty sure you don't need to know about all my personal romances, achievements, and so on. This story is about you guys, not about me. And all I'll say is after 100 or so funerals, it doesn't get any easier. Love is infinite, and listen to me when I tell you, it is the greatest thing in the universe. You guys actually figured that out out for a while after the Great Machine Occupation and ensuing war, when you finally did away with class oppression. Hundreds of years before the war, you guys got pretty good at creating artificial intelligence, and this meant a lot of you had no jobs to do. But the problem was, this created inequality like the world had never seen. And this started around the 2050s. Before you start thinking that we could replicate human brain robots that were just like us, stop, because we never could. There is something in all of you that cannot be replicated. It was the great mystery for science of all ilk, and that was what is consciousness. What makes you you? It's your soul, and when you die, it doesn't mean that you get to become a ghost and start moving around household objects just to scare American families to death. It just means you're a presence. You've been left behind, kind of an after effect, but something that now has no thoughts of its own. You become part of everything. Just as that Dutch philosopher Baruch Spinoza said when he wasn't grinding those lenses of his, you have a soul and we are all connected. That's why, my friends, that love is the law. Don't you?
Someone.
You said your favorite kind of weather is a rainy day, and it's raining.
Woke up on the right side of the bed. What's up with this Prince song inside my head? Hands up if you're down to get down tonight. Where all my keys, I left my phone. I love this record, baby, but I can't see straight anymore. Everyone else in the room can see it. Everyone else but you. Oh, don't you dare back. Just keep your eyes on me. I said you're holding back. She said, shut up and dance with me.
There's no going back.
Baby, just say yeah.
Forget it. Forget.
You know I'm all about that bass, no trouble. Expensive pieces, red bottoms, pieces, bloody shoes. Look what you made me do. Look what you made me do. Look what you just made me do. Look what you just. I can't be my face when I'm with you. But I love it. But I love it. I wanna hold them like I do in Texas, please. Fold them, let them hit me, raise it, baby, stay with me. Oh, yeah. Love, 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 I want your love.
This?
Just shoot for the stars. If it feels right, aim for my heart. If you feel